This video might turn out to be the most powerful video you watch on taking action and manifesting the results that you want into your life. The reason why I say that is I used to struggle with chronic procrastination. I couldn't get myself to do stuff. Anytime that I would set out my goals, set out my manifestations and try and take action towards them, it wouldn't work. Things just used to go wrong all the time, and it created this loop in my mind where I would get all excited, about this new project that I'm going to do, or I would feel this fresh start in order to get stuff done. And then I'll get started and then I'll fall off track, and then I won't have any consistency. And then I beat myself up for not taking action and manifesting what it is that I want into my life. It's this never ending perpetual loop of feeling high, feeling low, and just spiraling out of control. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, it just did. So, it's really interesting how the mind works when it comes to taking action. And the first thing I want to let you know about taking action is an emotion. Okay, if you can take anything from this video right now, comment this below. Taking action is an emotion. Okay. Please just understand this one concept and your whole life will transform. Taking action is an emotion. Most people have been taught their whole lives that taking action on something is a head thing, like starting that business, going down that new career path, having that discussion that you need to have with that person, whatever it is, it's an emotion that gets you to do it. People move through emotion, energy in motion, not from thoughts. Unfortunately, in the law of attraction space, we've been taught this as well. Thoughts become things and all of this stuff, right? Which is true within a sense, but there's more to it than that. And so we want to go back and realize that in school and from our parents, we've been taught to use our brains to take action. And sometimes some of us didn't like doing homework, didn't like going to school, didn't like our parents telling us that we need to go and clean our room. And so we're using our brain, our willpower, in order to take action. And we create this association in our minds that taking action is a head thing, it's a thought process, it's stressful, it's hard work. And you have to grind and hustle and use willpower and push yourself in order to achieve your goals, your dreams, your desires, and things like this. And so we get stuck in this rut because some of us know our passions and know what we really want to do. Some of us like to paint, some of us like to do art, some of us like to draw, some of us like to make music, some of us like to make YouTube videos, some of us like to do real estate, some of us like to do beauty products and all this. We want to start our own business, we want to live our dream life, we want to make more money, we want to have freedom and basically do what it is that we want to do. But there's this resistance because the resistance is coming from the mind. Okay, and so what we have to acknowledge and realize is that mind versus the mind is war. Okay, and so oftentimes you'll tell yourself that you're going to do something, but there's another part of yourself that doesn't want to do it. Okay, so there's a part of your brain like, yay, like I'm all excited, I want to take action towards this goal. Okay, but there's another part of your brain that would prefer to go on social media, that would prefer to watch Netflix, that would prefer to smoke cigarettes, that would prefer to smoke weed, that would prefer to take drugs, drink alcohol, watch pornography, right? The dopamine addictions, right? And so there's a part of us that wants quick, fast results. And the other part of yourself knows that the goal that you want might take a little bit longer to get that dopamine hit, to get that sense of reward, to get that same feeling that you can get instantaneously through pornography, social media, drinking coffee, sugar, whatever it is, right? And so dopamine is the biggest killer to success in this day and age. And we want to manage our dopamine if we want to take more action towards our dreams. So dopamine driven activities need to be put to the end of your day, right? To start making progress towards what it is that you want. Otherwise, you're going to deplete your dopamine resources, and that's not going to give you enough drive to get stuff done. Not only that, going back to my point here, is that there's a war going on in your brain, a part of you saying that you want to do something, and then there's a part of you saying that you don't want to do something. And so you're thinking, I need to use willpower and push myself, and there's a part of yourself that's been taking action your whole life, that's been hard working, and you got this negative association to working hard. All right, there's this subconscious identity saying, I need to work hard, it's going to be hard work, I need to struggle. And so it would prefer, the side of yourself would prefer to actually do something easy, like going on the internet, like watching pornography or whatever it is, right? Anything that's addictive, that's easy to go to, that you can get a quick dopamine release, your mind's going to be more likely to go for that rather than going for your dreams and your goals and the things that you want to manifest into your life. All right. And so the key here is to acknowledge and realize that, and then use dopamine driven activities, putting it towards the end of your day. It's going to be very hard to just quit these things, I wouldn't necessarily say that you're going to go ahead and just quit it. Sometimes it's very hard to do that. Some people can do it, some people can't. So I'm suggesting that you put it towards the end of your day for now. All right. Then on the other side of the spectrum is you need to stop using your head in order to take action. Stop telling yourself that you're going to do something and not doing it. Stop telling yourself you're going to do something regardless, because as soon as you tell yourself you're going to do something, now you're going to have war in your mind. Your mind's going to fight against itself. The ego is fighting against the ego. Whenever you're in ego, there's literally no point. You're never going to win or beat the ego. The only way to beat the ego is to transcend the ego, become well aware of it and know its game. And once you know its game, then you want to drop into the heart. Okay. Now you probably heard me speak about this oftentimes on this channel. The heart is more powerful than the brain. The heart is the first organ to grow in the human body. The heart's electromagnetic energy is 60 times more powerful than the electromagnetic energy of the brain. The heart is actually where manifestation happens, right? Emotion, right? The heart is what brings things in. The heart is what makes things work. And if you can heal your heart, your whole life will completely change. And you can get your alchemy energy reading and manifestation diagnosis session. The link will be in the description, where we talk about how to heal the heart properly and correctly to transform your life in really powerful ways. So the heart is where you want to be when it comes to taking action. The heart resembles emotion, love, right? And if you just felt, right, extremely passionate about following your dreams, taking action towards it, there's no mind involved, there's no head involved. The head's just going to help you navigate. It's like, the steering wheel. It's like the ship sailor thing. I forgot the wheel in the sailing ship, right? I forgot what it's called. It's the mind is more of the steering wheel, whereas the heart is the actual boat or the car. It's the vehicle that drives reality. And so we want to go into that. We want to step into the heart space and figure out how we can develop more emotion around what it is that we want to do. Let's say, for example, you want to take action towards just exercising. You want to exercise. Okay, so there's two parts to this. All right, one of them is strategy, one of them is emotion. So exercising, the strategy part might be that you just don't like going to the gym. Like, you don't like working out, you don't like pushing weights, you don't like people seeing you at the gym or whatever it is, right? And so you need to find a different strategy. Maybe you like dancing, and so dancing might be a form of exercise for you. Maybe you like walking, maybe you like jogging, maybe you like Pilates, maybe you like yoga. And so sometimes it's a strategy, and sometimes it's even the environment. Maybe it's just being around people, other people that are doing it. Maybe it's needing an accountability partner to do it with, right? And so you need to figure out what the strategy is in order for you to, in order for the process to be enjoyable. Okay, the process is supposed to be enjoyable. Unfortunately, in this day and age, we've been taught that we need to have discipline. I don't believe in discipline. All right, you do not need discipline. If you follow this formula that I'm giving you right now, you don't need discipline. All right, you need to align yourself to doing exercise in a way that is in alignment with your enjoyment, and setting it up so that you are accountable and you're getting stuff done, right? The second part here is the emotional part. All right, now if you're extremely passionate about something and you got a lot of emotional drive behind it, guess what? It becomes addictive. It becomes something that you can't help but do. Right now I'm recording this video. I record videos every Monday, pretty much without fail. I can't help but do it. I don't need to force myself. I don't need to push myself. I don't need to hustle. I don't need to grind. I cannot help but make YouTube videos. Why? Because I'm passionate about it. I do not need to be disciplined. I do not need to use willpower. I do not need to push myself. I don't need to do any of this stuff. I just can't help but do it. Just like sometimes you can't help but go on social media, or you can't help but eat that chocolate, or you can't help but smoke weed, or whatever it is, right? These activities that are very easy to do, you don't even think about them, right? That's how I feel about making YouTube videos. I don't need to be disciplined. And guess what? For the most part, I have my YouTube set up. It's very easy to set up. There's no long process to doing it. However, what I found in the past is when things were completely like there was too many moving parts in setting up my equipment, setting up the lighting, setting up this, setting up that, right? And then I have to record and all this stuff. It would make me procrastinate. And that's the strategy side. And so sometimes for some people it's strategy. Sometimes for some people it's emotion. I think for most people it's both, all right? And so whatever it is that you want to take action towards, you can take action towards it if you find the alignment and have enough emotional drive behind it. Now there's a third part to this, all right? And the third part is you might have subconscious trauma, identities that are holding you back from taking action towards what you want. Okay, and we do help with that. And again, you can get your free energy reading manifestation diagnosis session in the description. And when you remove these programs of resistance, of procrastination, of trauma specifically, I found that trauma holds people back heavily when it comes to taking action. I'm actually going to be holding a trauma workshop pretty soon, so look out for that. I'll actually put the link in the description where you can actually register for the trauma healing workshop to get rid of trauma. So yeah, sign up for that as well. And getting rid of trauma, we have to realize that when something traumatic has happened to us, our mind, it's like there's a burden there. There's something stored there that resists. It's like weight pulling us back, and we find it hard to take action towards our goals. And so oftentimes we're not taking action because of the subconscious programs. All right. So we want to acknowledge and realize that there's a whole system around taking action towards your goals, and it's figuring out what it is that you like, finding the way that you like doing it, getting enough emotion behind it, removing the subconscious programs. And the fourth thing that I would say is just not telling people that you're going to do stuff. Stop telling yourself that you're going to do stuff, and instead just find the emotional drives behind it. Find a strategy in order to do it. Because when you're dealing with the ego is only going to stop you from taking action, right? The ego has a ton of fears, a ton of anxieties, a ton of worries. It's always the job of the subconscious mind is to protect you from any potential danger. And these dangers could be totally irrelevant. They don't make any sense, but that's the way the subconscious works. It's always looking for danger. It's always looking for the worst case scenario. And so, for example, like when you go out and there's a fly, there's a fly going past your face and you'll just like automatically dodge it. That's your subconscious mind. And it's always doing that 24/7. It's looking for sounds. It's looking for stuff in your visual. It's looking for anything that could potentially hurt you, harm you, because you're needing to survive, right? You want to survive, right? And so we have to acknowledge and realize this. So when it comes to making more money, you want to make more money, right? and you want to achieve your goals and dreams, your subconscious mind is thinking, hey, what if this happens? What if that happens? What if this goes wrong? What if someone steals from me? What if I make all the money and I lose it? What if this? What if it's got all of these subconscious identities? Okay, and until you eradicate those things, it's going to be very hard. So oftentimes I'll work with business people, you know, and they're stuck at making 3K a month or 5K a month, and they can't get to 10K, 20K, 30K a month. And I'll do a couple of shifts, you know, I'll give them access to my program, they'll do a couple of shifts, and boom, their income starts going up. They start making more sales, they stop procrastinating on what they want to do, you know. And so that's what we have to realize, you know, sometimes it's a subconscious thing. So you're probably wondering, how do I find that passion? How do I find those emotions to get me so driven and passionate that I just can't help but do it, so I don't need to be disciplined? Well, you need to find your why. You need to find out what is very, very meaningful to you. For me, when I'm making videos, I'm not making videos just for you. I'm working with the Most High, you know, and so my mindset is, I don't want to let God down. I don't want to let the universe down. I'm here to do a job, but like I'm working for or with someone, something, right? And I'm very, very connected with that. All right. And so there's this drive behind me and this force behind me in order to get it done. So that's my why. I found my why, and I found what works for me for video. Okay. And it's always different for different things. And you need to find out what your why is. What's meaningful to you? What are you really passionate about, and associate that with your goal. Okay, for example, if I made making videos about money, you know, it would not work. I would not be consistent at making videos because it's about money, and money doesn't really mean much to me. And so we want to acknowledge and realize these things. All right, so you want to find out what your why is. You can have more than one why. Okay, you can have multiple whys. One of my other whys is, I want to raise the vibration of the planet. Okay, so through raising the vibration of the planet, which is a little bit more of the ego, you know, it makes me more driven to help others. You know, and I also want people to know about my program and how powerful it is, and it's transforming people's lives every day. So you know, people will be making. I had someone last week make $10,000 just like that. Another person manifested $1,000. Okay, so you know, things like this just tend to happen when people are doing the inner work and doing the shifts within themselves. Check out my previous video over here on why you need to eliminate parasites out of your life. Energetic parasites, parasites within the body. Very powerful video. Check out my 3-part series over here on how to raise your vibration correctly. And remember to keep learning, keep growing, keep expanding, and I'll speak to you soon. Peace.